Okay, we are now recording this.
Great.
So we have Skip, and just to do introductions, Skip Sheehan, Todd, he's our marketing consultant. He introduced us to Preston James of Traders Edge Network. He's based in Utah. We were introduced to him a few weeks ago, and Preston teaches a options education course out there in Utah, does it online, a lot of training sessions, and so he's interested in the eOption platform to use in his sessions, and we're just here to give him a demo.
We do a lot of so it's a lot of activity. So
so we Preston, we can allow Todd to take over, but is there anything specific you wanted to see? Have you had a chance to go in and click around a little bit?
Yeah, I have. I just, maybe setting wise, this is just one thing, but I'm obviously excited to hear how he shows us through all this. But is there a way to flick the color so it's like a light background, and what is it called, the inverse look at the screen, or that's just one other thing.
Sure. Todd, do you want to go ahead and take over the screen?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I'll take over the screen here.
Hear you loud and clear, Todd.
All right, perfect. So you're saying on the, let's see if I go here to settings. Well, first you got to make sure this is unlocked. Okay, that's going to let you up here on the right below the flag. That's going to let you get access to whatever you want to do it, because this add widget pops up. Now settings here, you can do layout settings here and go by colors. Okay, so you can change the colors here. All right. You can go dark to light and vice versa. It's really, there's not a lot of choices, in a sense, I should say, for the background. Let's see. So then basically, I strongly suggest once you get done with the way you like your platform, is to lock it up. But think of it this way: all these tabs here, are just like pages of a book, and all you do is click on it and you get a screen. Now, if I go here, I'm adding a new tab. It's going to be blank. I can add a widget here. I can add any widget and go from there. And then I can name it whatever I do. So if I put this news, and once it pops up, I can go in here and say rename. And I can rename it to whatever I want.
Cool.
Okay.
That font,
now,
those tabs, can that font appear bigger? On my screen, they appear kind of small.
Yeah, let's see. Let me go back to here. Font.
Or someone could do the command plus sign.
Let me look at here. It might be over here too. Watchlist, positions. Oh, that's the marquee. Let me think. There is some parts there is where you can. I believe it's. Let's go back to. And you can make it on your personal computer. Change the font and make it bigger.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to here, I don't know if it's going to. You can be able to do that. Let me see here. Options play, header code, color. That doesn't really tell you much there. But here, this is the key.
Okay.
Pardon me. Let's start. Let's do the first. Let's go to the option chain. Let's go to the first things first. Okay, and let's get something simple in here. It doesn't have a lot of strikes or something very simple. So IBM. Okay, and what I like to do is I like to put this on all, and I like to go to all. And now you're seeing I'm getting obviously calls and puts left and right. Now, if you want to change something, like for example, these are set here. Maybe you want to see something different. Now, this is the only screen where, let's say I want to see the gammas, or the deltas. Okay, I can add them. Now, to move them around, this screen's the only one that you got to do it different than the other screen. So this screen, you'd have to go like this and move it like that, and then it will move. Let's see, you click it, it should move. It should move here, up here. Let me see, how come it's not moving? Oh, let me try this again here. Yeah, for some reason, it's not taking it. That's how you would move it.
Okay.
Oh, maybe, let's see. No, it's just highlighting for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't. But anyway, that's.
And Todd, what if like the bid size and the ask size, just because there's so much data there that perhaps is not as important. So just deleting out bid size and ask size.
You can just click on it and then just uncheck it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I don't want to see the bid size and ask size, that's all you do. It's gone. Okay. The other thing, the Greeks and all that. I mean, as I said, there you can add the Greeks to it here.
Mm-hmm.
I like to keep everything on one full page, but I don't have a huge screen, so I don't have this. But there's no way you get this right here. If you highlight the area here, you're going to get all the deltas and the gammas, thetas, vegas, and interest rate risk.
Okay.
Now here you would click it, and it's going to show you all the. So this calculator has got. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let me get rid of that. So here you hit a plus sign, and you're going to get all. You can scroll down to them all. Okay. Actually, there's a lot of them in IBM too.
Yeah.
Not as much as Amazon though. And if I want to create, now think of it this way. So you get the calls, puts. If you want to default an order to certain amounts, you can default this to, like, say 10 contracts. Right now it's defaulted to 1. So let's say I want to do a credit spread. Let's just say, for example, I'm buying this and I'm selling this. Mm-hmm. Now, if I hit this once, for example, it turns green. Hit it again, that's a buy. As for sell, hit it again, it goes away. Okay? So now when I got these two, this is going to highlight right here to trade, and it's going to populate a ticket. Now, obviously, it's a credit spread. You got to worry about, you want to make sure it's a credit. Okay, because if it's a very close, -5, +5, you know what I'm saying? Basically, this is a bad example because it's a bad. Let me get something that's more in the money. Yeah, let me clear it out. Let me clear it out and go. Scroll down to something that has some juice in it. All right, trade.
What I like.
So here it's going to default to that.
Stays above it as you're scrolling through the option chain. There's some platforms.
Now you can move this around. You can move this around anywhere you want.
Yeah, that's cool too. But I'm just saying, as you were moving down the option chain, the stock was up there fixed with the stock price, and there's some
true. Yeah, that's exactly
the stock, and you're like, gosh, dang it, Yeah.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, this is all static up here. You can't move that at all. Now, as I said, you could change the number of strikes that you want to see. I like to keep it on all. An expiration all, but some people just want to trade one strike. But let's get back to here. Is you get the basically spread's got to trade as a spread. So some people might say, geez, 265 or 375. Okay, I'm at 265 to sell it as a credit spread, and I'm not getting filled. Well, it's just taking the bid and ask. It's not really it's a helpful indicator. Obviously, I'm sure you go in the middle sometimes and work the order, but that's all it's doing is taking the bid and ask and letting them out, and then you get the credit here. Okay, and then there's always a verification. You can undo it, but we suggest you don't do it where you don't have this dummy window, the verification window. I think everybody needs it because some people just click and they click it again because they're like, what happens? So. Once you, let's clear all this out. So as I said, I don't know if concentrating only on the weekly of this week. Maybe if you're looking at like the spiders or something and you only want, the weekly, you go for, do it that way.
Okay.
Or, it's another sorting tool. So think of it this way. A lot of the platforms made with, for example, on the positions and orders tab. So once you put the order in, it's going to pop up here. And we don't have any positions in here right now, but here again, you see these rows here. You can move them around like that. Okay, these things move around. Now the other one I told you on the option chain, you have to do it a different way. I don't think they fixed it that way. But so you can click anything you want here, and so forth to see the bid and ask. For example, if you have a position on, I usually like the bid and ask right here and. Last over here anyway, but and this other stuff, some people like cost basis. Daily P&L versus the open P&L is going to be different. So this is a sorting tool where you have the symbol. Otherwise, it's going to have all your positions. Down here on the orders, we don't have any orders, and the same thing's going to happen. Let me see if I can, hold on one second, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
What we're going to do is we're going to switch the from his platform to mine, which I already have orders in. So you'll see a lot more information from the day. You follow me? It'll be a lot easier. All right. So give it a second here while I think it was window 1.
Now, let me see. Where did you have reviewing? Let's see where we could have shared the screen here. Oh, wait, here, share. So on that button.
And it's going to say 1.
Okay. Do you want to, this will stop the others? Yes. Okay, so now we want, is it that one?
1.
It's 1.
Okay.
You gotta click share down there.
Okay, now you should see the a different screen, correct? You guys see the options plate. Let's go to position and orders, okay? So these are trades that happened today that were bought and sold, and here's some orders. Okay, so this is the way I set it up. Now, what's great about this, if you guys do a lot of spreads, one of the things you would check would be the select button. So if there was a position here, you would have a box here. And all you do is click on the box. So let's say I had a spread here. Let's say I'm buying a straddle here. I would click this box and this box, and then highlight right here. This would turn blue, and it's you click on it, close selected, and it's going to give you a spread ticket, basically. So that's the quickest way to do it. If I clicked on this by itself, it's going to just come up with a blank option order, thing. And since there was no position in it, if I clicked on this and had a position, it's going to say the opposite. So if I'm long it, it's going to say sell to close. Okay. So here's I keep a lot of information here, and here down here is the orders ticket. This is a sorting tool across here. So if I wanted to see McDonald's, all the trades, whether it's, if I put McDonald's in here, it's going to show all the orders that we've done in McDonald's. Whether I go back to something that's active, which has nothing active, but done for the day means that it was nothing executed and the orders expired. Okay. If you get a partial, it's going to say partially filled. So you can sort it by that. You can sort it by order type. And you can sort it by day, okay? And I reset that to 0, so it's back. So I always keep this on my default blank, all in all, and no time, okay? So that's the position thing. And now the option chain, do you have any questions about, the only thing I'm going to go back to this is, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, just maybe put in like Roku, R-O-K-U for the line. Okay. And so it's going to list, you've got wait a minute, you have, so you have all in all, okay. So you're automatically.
Right. I mean, you could do it if you only want to see. Let's say there's too many strikes. You can go down to 8 plus or minus 8 strikes. I keep them all on it because customers, you don't know what they're going to ask.
Right.
And then order type, expiration type, I do all because if I just click on this, it's just going to give me all the expirations, and I just have to click on it. The weeklies are going to say with a W.
Back and do that again. So just go back to what it looked like before. With the full, all.
Okay, so okay, so it clicks on this. So then it's going to negative. It's going to give you everything. It can scroll down.
Okay.
And now the thing is, what I do is like, if for example you want to do a time spread, you'd click on one and go to the other one and scroll down.
Okay.
But the W stands for weeklies, and this is the monthlies.
Okay.
Okay. And then Spider, I don't know if you guys do SPX, but that's going to be AM PM kind of deal, basically, where, Thursday night, and then next day you can't trade it the next day, but it will have a weekly, and then I'll show you. Now, if you try to get a future on here, we don't quote. We're not a futures firm, so we don't quote the price on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And the same thing with, I mean, I don't have a ticker up here, but if you wanted a ticker, you could go here and under layout and show marquee and sort. And that's going to give you a ticker of whatever you put in there. I don't have a ticker going across because it just slows my computer down.
Okay.
And I don't need to deal with it.
And
So let's go back to Roku.
Yeah. Go back to there. And just as I'm looking at this, so at the top, like the London, Tokyo, New York time, the New York time might be interesting, but if that's something that you can unlock.
I know. No, that's unfortunately those locks are let me just double check. There's lately it's static. Everything up here you can't change.
Okay.
The only thing you can change is, I take that back. The only thing you can change is the let's see here. Wait, where is it? So this is generally your, what I said before, you want to show all this because you don't want to put in a verification and bypass it. You don't want to put do not show, otherwise you click on something, you got an order in right away. So this, I would keep, default numbers and all that. But when it comes down to, let's see here, password, email, where is that? It's up here, I think. It is. That's the one we just saw. But there's a way to change. No, I think this is static. This is static. You can't change these up here. Now the marquee, you can put in whatever you want for stocks to scroll. That's separate. That's something different. Okay. Another thing is alerts. If some people want to look at alerts, it's very simple to add an alert. Because we don't have trailing stops. That's not one they're working on that capability. So that's something that I say people, especially if you want to have a like an OCO versus a stock. If the stock hits $90, I want to sell the option.
I see.
That's not capable either to do that. But send yourself alert and then do it that way. But so these things, I said, you can move these around. Go ahead.
So on Roku, let's take the chain down. So the stocks, like 134-ish. Let's just do this next week out, and just do a put credit spread for next week.
Okay, so we're going to go out. Let's go next. Well, we'll just go weekly. Well, if you go weekly, you're still going to be. You're just going to lose only a couple. It's not that many.
Yeah.
You follow me? The difference between the weeklies. And the spiders, there's a lot of difference. But here, so if you go out next week, you click on that. And you're going to go down to you do it. Let's find something that has some meat in it, and then. And
is this right here? Is this this coming Fridays, or does it have a thing on the top where it says?
This is 23rd. You're 30. See right here, it says 8:30.
Okay.
Okay, so when you call it up, that's using kind of, I think, the CBO. That's a standard way to do it, I believe.
Right.
But up here, you'll see the thing. But then you'll also see it. Let's say you do a spread here. Let me get back down into here, and let's say I do a credit spread. And hit trade, you're going to see the date right here. Okay, and obviously I want a credit. And then you're going to see up here on the verification window the exact everything here.
Right.
Okay. Now, since this is our allocation account, you're not you don't see the net cost and all that proceeds and all that, and what it costs margin wise for a credit spread. You will see it on your account. You follow me?
Yeah.
Because this is an allocation account, so it doesn't have that capability. It makes it zero. Okay. You see the bid and ask here.
Back out of that particular spread. So, but once you get to the trade ticket, you can change anything. You can change expiration, strikes.
Oh yeah, you can go exactly. You can go here and change what you want if you do a time spread or strike, all that, puts and calls, and you're going to get a quote. All this.
And that was my question. So you see the bid-ask quote for both of those legs of the spread, and then down below it says market bid 7-cent credit, 2-cent difference. So
it's taking this. Yeah, it's taking 21 minus 14, and then it's taken this way. But you always think about, if it's a credit spread, obviously you're not going to sell for debit. The machine will kick it back. It would be an error. But you put in a credit and it's 2 bid at 7 cents basically. So yeah. And then duration is something you can change. An order type, I highly recommend not doing a market order, especially nowadays the way the market is for spreads. They're giving away too much free money. And this is not. You can't do any of these right now with. That's only for stock. And OCO, but that's coming along. All right.
Okay.
So that's a ticket, and then as I said, once the ticket. Let me do something here. Did I have this thing? No. All right. So the positions. Okay. So let's go over. Okay. So basically, you can name whatever you want with these things, but like I do, I only usually really use like 4 screens. I look at the charts. These are 5-minute charts. The problem with these charts is the only thing I see wrong is that if I draw a line, a trend line. Let's get this trend line drawn here. Why? Oh, you know what? It's not doing a. There we go. So if I draw a trend line and then I get out of this and go to, and I come back to it, it's going to be gone. So it does not save trend lines. It will save indicators. Okay. The only thing I look at is like I got a Stoli here, and then you can change the time periods and the colors. So on this one, on the graphs you can change colors, time graphs, the background too, and then here if you have an indicator, you can everything below this line comes over here. Everything above this line comes on the top. And you compare stocks. You can add a stock if you want. 5 minutes. 5 minutes only go to. I think weekly is its default on it. You can't go monthly 5 minutes, I believe. Let me see. Maybe you can. No, I think it only goes a week. Yeah. For some reason, it goes now. This defaulted for 30-minute monthly right there. You see. So if you look at the 5 minutes, it's gonna default to the week. Here you can change the width between them just by I guess you would on your keyboard you'd hit the control something and do the wheel and kind of widen it out if you wanted to. What else? What do you think here?
Does eOption offer a portfolio margin?
No, we don't. Okay. No, that's one thing. Yeah, that's more professional. That's obviously what the minimum they vary in other firms, but we don't have that portfolio. Clearing firm doesn't offer it, so we can't offer it. What else? You can create a little watch list, and as I said, all these columns here can change whatever you want. These carets are just we don't get quotes on them, but it's just more for these are all the futures and indexes. So these are all going to be 0. All right. What else here?
I'm trying to think.
Todd, do you want to show them the news and research just real quick?
Okay. So news-wise, okay, I don't even have it set up at all. Let's see.
It looked like you guys had a thing in the settings for some portrait of the person. It was kind of an outline. I just thought Skip would probably have his face just plastered on his mouth.
Yeah, you can put anything on you want for that one. So this is basically the news. You can go in and hit different topics, individual filters, and so forth. So they click on Apple. You can find information on that, more articles.
So if you're so that 113 by Apple, so what is it showing to the right? It doesn't look like it's related to Apple.
I know it doesn't. I don't know. You know what? I probably got to sync it somewhere here. Let me think here. I never use it.
Yeah.
Just because I don't.
But it's supposed to bring up the articles related to it. I wonder if it got tagged.
Maybe
an Apple in there somehow.
Something.
Oh yeah, I just barely put that together. It's a farm story. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. But it says, it's tagged. It must be tagged with the Apple company though somehow. It does have company tags to it. But you can do people and company.
This is Okay.
And I find myself, I kind of know where I like to get my news. I've got like 3 or 4 sites up. It's just because I'm just used to seeing stuff that way. I don't think it all has to be, everything in just one place.
Right. It's a nice option in case you just want to stay within the platform.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put this. Another thing about the platform on a tab, you can put multiple windows in a tab. So as I said before, let's see, tab 2. Let's say I got charts. Well, let's say down here, I want to get a new. Let's see. I want to put a different widget in there. So you can do that. What am I doing here? This is. Oh, you know what? This is.
That's a different window.
That's something different.
Yeah.
That's something that you guys don't see.
Show us any of your personal stuff, Todd.
That's just a review. When we get orders of review, that's what you don't see. You don't have access to it. But anyway, so you see the platform the way it is now here. Now, let's say I want to add a widget. Let's say I want to add news. So I add news, and it should pop up here. Okay, so now it's over here, the news. Okay, so you can link it to like whatever you have over here. So you just do. Let's see here. I believe. That's detaching widget. If you color it, I believe this way, and go, let's say red here, and then you go here, red also. It's gonna show. It's gonna better come over here now. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now you can move these. If I move this down all the way to here, now watch what happens. It should. We can change it on the bottom here. You follow me?
Yeah.
So you can move these what we call widgets, these little windows. You can change the sizes of them. You can move them up and down, side by side, and put as many as you want on one window, or one page, I should say.
Okay.
But I suggest if you guys do a lot of trades, you just might want to put an orders widget. So these are all the orders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now another thing is if you do a spread. Okay, if you notice here, these are the orders that are active in their GTCs. So if I go like this, it's going to tell me the spread. All right, I gotta minimize it. Now the same thing tells you what I got an OCO here. All right, and it's good till cancel. Now if you go to the option chain, or not option chain, you go to down over here. Let me go to another page. The only way to see the prices, it's not going to give you. Let me do a spread here. That's filled here. I don't think we did many spreads today. Here, so this spread right here, it's filled. It says 425, but I don't know an individual price. I go like this, and I see 237 over 188, and they bought the straddle. The strangle. They bought the strangle here. So that's the only way you'll see the limit price, but you might get filled better. And here you got filled. Let's see, you got filled at 4.25.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and so that is a way. Let me see what else you need. Then I hit this thing and it goes right back to the first page. So I take it you guys probably use the option chain, and I mean, do you guys go by graphs? Do you go by volatility? I mean, do you use you going after vol stuff?
Well,
I mean, how you generating your ideas? I mean, what's your premises?
There's certain setups. Like for example, Amgen just had, solved a court case and ruled in their favor, and just kind of changed its dimension. It broke out, but it's been a monkey on the stock's back, and that's a compelling situation that I really like, and so I like doing like a put calendar credit spread, but I love selling the weekly puts and like going out about 3 or 4 months underneath. With the
you're doing diagonal. You're doing a diagonal. You're doing let's say the 180 versus 175. You're selling the 175 for this week, and you're long to 180 put. So I call it diagonal.
Well, no, I would be on the put side. I would be selling like a near the money and then owning a more out of the money put. So
you're doing okay. You're doing that. Okay, I got you. So you're doing it's still diagonal.
It's 203. So I'd be selling like the 205 weekly put, and then owning like the 190 put out in November or something like that.
Yeah.
And just look to sell the weekly puts again and again and again. And I call it the money press. We just have a cool name for it instead of that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I used to trade on the CBOE for 18 years, so we called different stuff.
For sure.
It was Nigerian. Yeah, all those guys. Yeah, now it's a parking lot. But anyway, let's get back to this. And so basically over here, this guide, if you click the guide, what happens, you see these little flags come up. And if you hover over them, it gives you a description of what it is.
Okay.
Now, obviously, when you do a simulator, it's everything's to do with volatility, but I don't think the volatility is skewed in a sense. It doesn't have, it's pretty much straight across, I believe. Meaning that, let's see if I go here and they show a graph, I believe, somewhere here.
I like the plain English.
Okay. Yeah, the bottom line is that this is not a professional would have, because you'd have skewed, like the spiders is a great example, or the puts, or the kurtosis is going down. It's flatter than on the way up. You follow me on the call side, because the more risk on the downside, the puts hold their value more and so forth, so this whole thing slides. But this is just generally speaking, and plus you're assuming, that the volatility is going to be the same on all the strikes, which it's not. So
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. I mean, it's very few people pay big bucks for that type of information.
Yeah.
To figure out what that does. But this thing here is, as I said, every flag you can hover over it and it can tell you some ideas. Maybe for your situation, maybe it'll tell you, like Amgen, if you're bullish, okay, what should you do? You can buy that. You can these are all bullish. So hit on bullish, and that's what it gets. If hit on bearish, it should change stuff. Yeah. But I'm sure you'd think about more stuff to do than what they show there. That they don't show much at all.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. Where we're teaching people that maybe they've done options here and there before, but it's probably mostly been frustrating for them. And I just like to teach them some setups that I think are really compelling, and then we slap a strategy on it. I'm kind of the guy that's making the complex world a little more understandable and kind of make it fun a little bit. And so, I mean, they would be coming to this brokerage side. I mean, just really liking the low commissions, and also if there's support and they maybe see that we're tagged like, oh, this is from, the Trader's Edge network. Maybe, the person on the phone could talk their language a little bit. Oh, you're trying to do a money press, and you know what I mean. And they feel like that they're home.
Well, let me ask this question. So let's say, so you have you got subscribers subscribed to your education stuff, right? And do you have subscribers that subscribe to your like the Nigerian brothers do? They have their plays, they call them whatever. Do you have that same thing? So you have an alert that comes out to all these people and say, buy Amgen, that sell that diagonal. Do you have that, or how do you go about on a recommendation? How do you communicate?
We do it. We do a text alert, and then there's an email update that goes. And usually the text alert alerts them that there is an email update, and so they can get it on their phone. If they happen to be in their email and see it, then they do. But I send
here's why I bring it up, because auto trade stuff, what we do, one of our departments is that we auto trade, where you would send us the same time you send everybody else an alert, and people have their accounts, we would do the trade for them and allocate it out to the position in their accounts per their things. That way, if they don't have time to look at your alerts and all that, and they just want to follow your strategies, basically real time, and get in, because that's something that you might think about on one aspect of your thing, and because I don't know how many people, what's the word for it, do you do stuff like before the opening and say, if this comes, do you give a price, or is it usually a market order? And I should say market order, but a strong limit order, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like variable, aggressive, let's say.
Yeah. And so when I decide to take action, I will, do a limit order on my stuff, and I'll send it out to them and let it kind of get out there for a few minutes, so I'm not the first one doing it. But, on orders like on Amgen and, these big stocks, it just...
Well, it's something very liquid like Apple and all that. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. So, but let's say the midpoint. You more. You probably know the pricing that what you want to get in it at. And what percentage it doesn't get filled. I mean, what you do, you can always send an email update saying instead of getting a $1.80 credit, do it for $1.75 or so. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I don't know if you guys do that, or I mean, what percentage of your stuff gets filled right away?
Well,
Is it a high percentage?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and if I want to get into something and I want to get into it at that time, the price is the price, you know. But I'm not doing market orders either. But I'm just usually
you just aggressive limit order.
Yeah.
That's all. You can go above the offer, right? You know, say I'll pay up to like Amgen. I'll pay 204 for it. You know, it's offered at 203.70. Obviously, they're not going to trade through you.
I know,
and
but
all that, so
that's very true. But I've really crutched on the walk limit, as Options Express had it and then got gobbled up into Schwab. They still have that, and I've just really like that feature because you just kind of set it, and both ends of the spread work, and the fill you get is wonderful.
Well, most of the times when you see the one I showed you in the option, you're going to get a better fill than the bid ask normally by a lot.
Oh yeah,
especially if it's $1 wide. You know, I mean, in Amgen and IBM, I mean Apple, it's going to be a tight spread for most part to begin with, but back months might be a little wider, but then again, I've seen a lot of things on the open that criminal that these market makers are doing, and you know, they go through stops and you know, dollar bid at $3.
Yeah.
And then they fill you at $1.10, and a millisecond later, it's $2 bid.
I know, that's crazy.
Only on the opening. It only happens that on the opening, basically. Because all the different ECNs do that.
Yeah, and I noticed that gets really crazy toward the end too. I mean, I would imagine at the open, but
do you guys do a lot of stock or is it all options?
At close to expiration, like on a Friday, and the weekly's expiring, it can get some crazy bid ass in that last half hour.
Well, spiders, you know, they'll stuff be out of the money by a point, and they'll be 20 cent bid, depending on, you don't see them with no bid at a penny because of the extra hour and a half after the close, or hour and 15 minutes, where they can exercise it.
Crazy.
Yeah, but that's only on the spiders, not on Amgen. I mean, we've had it before in other stocks where we got to watch out. News is coming out and expiration that's $30 out of the money, and next thing you know, news comes out and they have a put spread on, credit spread, and all of a sudden it's against them, and you're like, oh my God, I mean, somebody's going to exercise those puts on you. You know, what do you do?
Even after hours.
So
that's weird.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. CMG a couple of years ago came out, and this actually it worked in the favor. They had they were long puts, $20 out of the money, and the stock went down like 50.
Because they
called up and say, happy. Well, you did exercise the put, and then we bought the stock back. We bought the stock and exercised the put, and then made them a bunch of money, and they were so happy. But people don't realize the market closes at 3, after 3:15. But it really till 5 o'clock is when you really got to pay attention to news after hours and reactions down.
Eastern or Chicago?
Shut down Chicago time.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, the clearing firms, it varies, but 5 o'clock Chicago time is when the clearing firm won't accept any more. Actually, it's like 4:30 to 5. They won't accept any more exercise notices. But I think legally, the clearing firm has to the OCC. I think it's 7 o'clock Central Time.
Perfect.
It has to be in by. So each individual firm is different. If they self-clear, we don't self-clear, and so it's a little different.
Gotcha. Well, can you think of Skip or Scott?
Hey, Preston. I just wanted to jump in and just confirm that whenever one of your subscribers or customers calls in, we absolutely want to. We'll be identifying them as Traders Edge Network contact, and so we want to help them as best. A pirate contact. Okay, we'll pass along that terminology. But we absolutely want to make it a smooth customer support situation for them. So any dialogue or anything like that, we'll work with you on to make sure it's a smooth transfer, conversation with them. We can set that up on our side for sure.
That's cool. And
you guys do have a lot of day traders?
No, we don't.
You have a lot of day traders, or so you hold everything for at least a couple of days, a day, at least overnight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I get, I won't go into it, but they kind of,
Okay.
well, yeah, we don't. And I'm sure people can do whatever they want. They probably do lots of different things that
I'm just saying, I mean, obviously day trading rules it depends on, capital and this and that. Number one. Number two is, do you just do naked options, buying and selling, single leg, or do you do mostly, okay.
Well, yeah, we'll do long
situation too.
Mm-hmm.
And spreads, obviously, like you said, the credit spread and verticals and all that. How about condors and all? You probably do everything, right?
Yeah, well, we do. In fact, there's one we're doing that's really kind of popular. Of course, I'm a name guy. We call it the Sleepover Bandit. It's just a premium that's kind of abnormally large on a Thursday that gets flattened into a Friday. And so we'll either do one side or both sides on certain stocks as they go on from Thursday to Friday into their expiration day. So those are two, be a credit spread on, on one side, sometimes two. And speaking of the customer service, like on the screen I'm looking at right now, and it's probably you don't want to plaster the 800 number on it because you want them to, trade online, but there's got to be a contact. I'm just trying to look and see, hey, if you need help, is there?
Here you do. Here's what you do. You hit this question right here.
Okay, yeah.
If any of them have any questions, there's a little guide, user guide and all that. But let's say they have a question about their account. They put it here, hit here, and we get back to them usually the same day. But it depends on time of day. If they do it after the close, it'll be the next day most likely.
Yeah.
But that's something, if they wanted something that's not in a rush to do. I mean, another thing is in this situation where we got additional information, additional services we call it, here, this gives them all the information on, let's see here, on account history. So it's going to tell you all your trades that you've done. You can export it to a spreadsheet. This is auto trade subscriptions, and then this is, money, statements, documents, and profile and all that. So the one thing about this platform, it's very simple. Mm-hmm. It's not really, what's the word for it, hard to navigate at all. We
not
don't try to hide
complex.
anything.
No.
Yeah, I guess exactly. So account history. So I go to an account here, which I don't want to show anybody's account, but then I put a date here, and I hit search, show me all this, commissions and everything like that. Nice. All your confirms come here. I can export it out and put a spreadsheet and see what what you guys nice. what companies you're doing well on and so forth.
Good. Awesome. I mean, I appreciate your time and showing me all this, Todd. This is awesome.
I think you should also do is I know you probably have a paper trade account the way it is. That way you can mess around with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be
we set him up with a live account. He's got a live account, and I don't think he needs to have a paper account. I set him up with a kind of a dummy live account for him to navigate through. And
yeah, that's fine. And the thing is, you can save the platform. First thing I do is look at the way you want it, meaning make it the way you want. If the bid ask, you want them to switch. I'd set up the platform first the way you like it structured, and then I'd worry about the other things. You know what I'm saying? Just the navigational part. That will give you a big help. I mean, to me, I'm always like, I always want it certain ways, and I keep it that way. And here, for example, this is execution. This is going to tell me everything on the fill side. If we change something, that's executed is very important. It's going to show me the last thing I even put in. Done for the day means these orders were never filled. These were filled, so I don't have anything below that that's going to show anything else. But click on here for the details, and it tells you what you did.
Cool.
You can go to you can end up the same street, same house, by taking different streets the same way. There's so many different ways to get the same information.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Preston,
go ahead.
Is there anything else? I mean, would you like another? Would you like to go over this again sometime, or is there anything else we can do for you?
I think what would be cool. What I think I want to do is go into my live account and then use some of the stuff I've learned right here and kind of set it up how it looks, good for me. And I want to be able to teach this, but also I think what I see is as we launch this and we get people to a webinar, maybe we'll do this again and have it, recorded for them to see, kind of a tour of everything.
Yeah.
And
they have active there. I said up here you can get some tutorials, but they're okay. Another thing I would suggest is we can access everybody's account and look at what their screen looks like. Okay, that we can do that. So let's say you get your set up and you have questions about how your screen looks and all that. I can go in there, anybody can go in there at the firm here and look and see what your layout's like and say, hey, I want to do this. How do I get this over here or that over here? We can do that for you.
Okay.
To help you with that.
Yeah, Preston, we can show you what we have some current tutorials on our website that we'll share with you. We'll show you, and we'll show you our library that we have of that. And based on what we have, and if you want to also put together our own demo for you, we can do that as well. Okay. We'll just do whatever kind of works best for you guys.
Okay. I like, we found really good success in having, we call it a spectacle. So we'll just kind of tell everyone, hey, this is coming, and here's why you want to be on it, blah, blah, blah. You kind of count it down, and then boom, we get on with you guys, and we're on the stage, we're performing, not that we tell jokes or whatever, but we're like, hey, this, we're doing it. This is happening right now. And then, and it just really kind of helps people get out of their stupor and actually take action, to do something.
Yeah. Having us both on, a recording or a live webinar of us both on together, that would go a long ways. I agree.
Absolutely. And the tutorials are great, but I see that as more for me, like, oh, I'm going to learn this for me, but I just don't want to send out an email and say, hey, there's this thing, and you might want to click on the tutorial, and then you're going to learn some stuff. Just do it live, and we'll have little cameras of ourselves if we want down the bottom of the screen. I mean, just to show that we're real, people are there. They're like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard about this before. It's just kind of an exciting thing.
I agree. Sounds like a great idea. We can help build up the excitement for it. Let's definitely talk more about that.
Yeah.
But this is being recorded, so I'll send you what we have here to help you get, go back and set up your own account and, customize it the way you need. And then, so I'll follow up with you with some of that information, and then we can just continue from there.
Okay. We're moving on it, so I'm excited. So.
Great. Okay. Well, I'll be in touch with you tomorrow then.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. And we'll just see what the next steps are and what works for everybody.
All right, sounds good. Todd, thanks for your time. I appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks. Nice meeting you guys.
Okay. Bye. Yeah, thank you, Preston. Thank you, Todd. Talk to you later.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.